If you've ever thought, geez, a reverse mortgage might be right for me, well, maybe it is. But what are the steps that get you there? That's what we're going to talk about today. What's it like to get a reverse mortgage? What steps do you have to go through? I'm Ken Pitts, mortgage advisor and author of Kinetic Wealth. And today we're going to talk about the steps that you will go through to apply for and get a reverse mortgage. So the first step of a reverse mortgage actually starts with education. Everyone who is going to apply for a reverse mortgage has to get what is called HUD homebuyer counseling. You'll actually go through an educational program with a HUD certified counselor. They're going to make sure you understand how the loan works and look at the reasons why you're getting a loan and make sure you're making a good, proper decision with obtaining a reverse mortgage. Now, your loan officer, like myself, we will have done that with you up front. But the HUD counseling, it's a reinforcement. It's making sure you understood the things that we told you and that the things that we told you are correct. So they actually look at our proposal that we put together for you. They use that as the basis for your education on the certification. Once that certification is done, and only after that certification is when I, as a loan officer, can actually take a loan application for the product, for the reverse mortgage. So education is key. Once you get through that first hurdle, the next hurdle is pretty easy. Making application is really just sharing with us your personal information so that we can run a credit report. We're going to ask you about your income, about your assets, and we're going to apply all that into a mortgage application. In addition to that, we're going to collect documentation. So for example, if you're on Social Security, we're going to ask for your Social Security award letter. If you're still working, we'll ask for W-2s and a recent pay stub. If you own a business, we're going to ask for your tax return so that we can see what kind of income is coming in. Well, why do we do that? Well, I've talked about this in some other earlier videos. In a reverse mortgage, we have to determine if you can afford to live where you're at. So we look at how much are your real estate taxes, what's your homeowner's insurance cost, and what kind of condition is the house in. So we look at all these three components to determine, can you afford to live there? So we do what's called a residual income calculation. It's not a debt ratio calculation like you would get if you were buying a home or maybe you've gone through getting a previous mortgage. This is more, hey, is there enough money coming in the house that you can live there? It's a little bit different evaluation. It's a lot easier, but still there's an income valuation to it. And we're going to look at your credit report during that application process to determine, are you good steward with your money? Do you make your payments on time? It's important to us to know that you keep up on top of your expenses because you're still going to have expenses with the house like real estate taxes. And once we have all that information and we're going to order an appraisal. This is really key because the appraisal is used to determine how much money or how much equity you're going to have access. So that's an important component to the whole process. Plus, the appraiser is going to be looking at the overall condition of the home. They're going to make note if there's some health and safety repairs that need to be done. And if there are, we're going to have to address those prior to closing. We can also build some repair items into the loan in a repair escrow agreement. So the appraisal is really important for determining what's the value of the home and are there any repairs that may need to get. And once we have all that information in, an underwriter is going to double check all the information that we gave. If they agree that everything we have meets the requirements for the loan, you have the residual income requirement, the credit is good enough, and you've kept up on your taxes and insurance on your home, then we go to closing. And once we have closing with a title agent, that's when you'll be able to have access to the money in your home for your retirement plan going forward. If you have any questions about reverse mortgages, I'm always available to talk to you. You can also get a copy of my book, Kinetic Wealth, at kineticwealthbook.com. And there you can actually download a free chapter soon as well. And I look forward to talking to you in our next video.